City of Harvard's regular city council meeting for Monday, January 8th, 2018 will now come to order. Roll call of council members.
Alderwoman Lewinsky, Alderman Whittington,
Present.
Alderman Clark,
Present.
Alderman Key,
Present.
Alderman Nesbitt,
Here.
and Alderman Price.
Here.
Mayor Kellogg.
Present. This time we move to invocation of pledge of allegiance with Bishop Owens. Dr. David Owens. Dr.
All these has privileges in the leader. It is in Christ Jesus who come this evening. And together these changes, this council, we come pray, Lord, for your wisdom, your knowledge, your perspective. We pray for this mayor, Mother Mayor, Joel, we pray for all of them that represent each ward. And we pray for the residents of this great city. The Lord that you bless and that you will lead and guide and keep. We pray, Lord, that as this year will forward, and we continue to bring wisdom down on this place, that your spirit will reign and rule in this city, and that we rise from the place of humanity. We thank you, and we give you praise for this opportunity to serve you. In Christ Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the United States of America,
To the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let me begin by, first of all, welcoming and wishing everyone a happy new year. I certainly want to thank God for allowing us to move from 2017 to 2018. So again, we give God the honor and the glory for giving us that opportunity. With that said, I would like to just introduce a few individuals that played a very key role in tonight with respect to a young man that we'll be talking about later on the agenda. First of all, I'd like to introduce Attorney Fioretti, who has been just a champion for the City of Harvey in terms of assisting the City of Harvey with its legal fights. He's done just a tremendous job, and he's also had an opportunity to work with Deputy Chief Thomas. And again, it would be remiss of me if I didn't take this opportunity to just acknowledge Attorney Fioretti and allow him to say a few words with respect to Deputy Chief Thomas, and also just his work with the city. Attorney.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, everybody in the council. To our new first responders, and all the first responders. I know we had a fire recently in Harvey during the cold weather, and I have to admire their work that they do. I am running for Cook County Board President, though. My role tonight is not just to talk about things at Harvey, because all the municipalities throughout this county are being faced with the same problems, believe it or not. And we have a big, this is a huge county. It's bigger than 23 states in a landmass. Its budget is bigger than 34 states. So think about how big that is. But we have from on the south side, where I grew up in the Roseland neighborhood, and I'm familiar with Harvey, Dalton, South Holland, Riverdale, places where I would hang out. But at the same time, we go far north. We go all the way up to Barrington. Barrington is in this county, believe it or not. We talk about Chicago and the Gold Coast, but Barrington has some of the richest people in the country in that area. The only way we're going to solve the problems that we have in this county is not by raising taxes, not by another soda tax. And as we know, 8 years ago, they repealed the 1 cent tax, and then they put it back in a year later. I'm worried that in they could repeal something today, but they win again tomorrow, and they will put it back, a soda tax. It wasn't for health, it was for revenue. And there's ways to deal with a budget that's doubled in 8 years, other than just raising taxes on us ordinary working people. And who gets hit the worst? We do. You know, one of the biggest programs that was cut, Mayor, was the mediation program that helps mediate homes that are in foreclosure. I mean, we need to keep people here. We need to keep people in our homes, whoever they are, wherever they are. There are programs, or at least there was, and now they're eliminated under the county. That means more people will be leaving, taxing them out instead of inviting them in. You know, the south end of this county needs more jobs than anywhere else in the county. It is one area that has suffered more. The job growth here has lagged since the recession more than anywhere else. There are ways to do that. We can bring jobs in, tax-free zones that we can do for even for the city here. We should create tax-free zones to invite companies to come here. You know, when they all talked about Amazon, where did they put them? In the city of Chicago. If we needed Amazon, we needed it here on the south side, in the south suburbs. This is the areas that need it. The intermodal, and I would be for Amazon if we were having community benefits agreements. Those are the things we need to look at. I'm going to listen to the people. I'm going to listen to the mayors. I'm going to work with the city councils. And everybody, remember, the most important thing that you got to do is vote on March 20th. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor, for letting me have a few minutes.
Yes, speaker, who's gonna say a few words for our city.
Yes, I got my good friend. Thank you, Honorable Mayor, and to all of the council members here tonight. I got my good friend, my son in the gospel, all the way from Evanston, Illinois, known all over this country, and the breath of this nation. He's a great preacher. He's a preacher per excellence, and he's a Mr. Preacher. And I call him my son. And I want him to have a few words tonight, coming all the way from Evanston, Illinois, from the original Springfield Missionary Baptist Church, along with his deacon here, Deacon Pitts, and to my good friend and my brother Thomas, my brother, I'm here for you tonight also. I'd like for you to stand at this time of yours.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. To Mayor Kellogg, to all of the aldermen and councilmen, to all of you who are here tonight. We come all the way from Evanston to help support Mayor Kellogg in his endeavors, as well as the city of Harvey. And we're also coming to just reinforce the real, true point and meaning of what it is that we need as a people to come together on March 20th. I know that a lot of us here have not probably experienced it, but we do know that, especially people of color, we did not have the opportunity to vote at one point in time. And now that we have this opportunity, I need us to just continue to encourage our younger people and to enlighten them on how important it is that we get out and vote. Mr. Fioretti is not just a person who is talking, but he's a person who has really shown his actions as to what he can do and what he will do for not just a group of people, but all people. So therefore, we just want to share that information, and we wanted to just be here and be a part and support of Mayor Kellogg. God bless you.
Yeah, first we want to thank Mr. Fioretti for coming out to support our new chief. Certainly we don't do campaign speeches. However, he certainly has been a good friend to the city of Harvey with respect to the legal team. And so we certainly appreciate him coming out to be a part of tonight's celebration. With that said, we'll move to the city clerk's report.
Good evening, everyone. I do hope everyone is starting the year with an attitude of great expectation. I would like for the council to know that I did hear from Alderwoman Lewinsky, and she is very ill. And she had called me early this morning today, at 11 o'clock, and stated that she would not be able to attend tonight's meeting. She's not well. I have public notice for the citizens. City Hall will be closed Monday, January 15th, 2018, in observance of Dr. Martin Luther King Day. Have a safe holiday. We will reopen on Tuesday, January 16th, 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Mayor Eric J. Kellogg, City Clerk Nancy L. Clark. Just wanted to reinforce or reinstate the fact that our city stickers deadline is Thursday, February 15th, 2018. And when you come in to get your city sticker, please bring your driver's license and your vehicle registration at the time of purchase. Thank you so very much. That's it.
After the mayor's report, I have a very special appointment tonight after my report, so just bear with me. Yeah, before the mayor's report, it was a slight oversight. I'd like to amend the agenda to add to the agenda. I gave it to the clerk. I'd like to amend the agenda to add Honorable Keith Price Boulevard will be symbolically renamed after Alderman Keith Price, and I'll get into the details in terms of the historic things that he has done in the city. I think it's only fitting. So again, I'd like to amend the agenda to reflect that. This is just a brief overview of the journey from 2003 to 2017 years in review. Coming together at the beginning, keeping together progress, and working together success. That was Henry Ford. So again, this is basically 2003. We talked about some of the initiatives that we wanted to bring forth to this great city, some of the promises, but more importantly, our goal was to provide good government for our residents. So again, please allow me to share with you some of the accomplishments. Again, in 2003, 2004, we were faced with some massive deficits due to enormous over expenditures by the previous administration, but more importantly, we had police, fire, and the street department didn't have a contract. So I certainly want to thank Attorney Lewis, who worked very diligently to ensure that we were able to settle all those contracts. Again, City Council, we launched a $700,000 road paving program. Certainly want to thank Superintendent Fisher, Superintendent Sepic for the great things that they did, but more importantly, when you look at the senior assisted living project, certainly want to thank Alderman Price, Alderman Edwards for those votes that we needed to ensure that that particular project would come to fruition. Again, this is some of the highlights that we were able to accomplish. Talks about some of the grants we were able to get grant funding in 2004 with $600,000. Again, I won't read all of them. Talk about the settlement of the contract, the utilization of the Cable Access Channel for information outreach programming. We also brought back the 4th of July parade and picnic. We constantly held senior citizen red carpet events, back to school rallies and parades. And certainly, they're doing some phenomenal things with respect to the community center. Again, great initiatives that Alderman Nesbitt spearheads. 2005, 2006, again, this is CDBG funding. Certainly, again, just a quick overview. When you talk about President Bush, 2006 federal budget proposed cutting $4.7 billion from the Community Development Block Grant. But in 2004, 2005, we received $300,000. Yeah, and that was used for the street improvement projects, which consisted of resurfacing and restoration of existing roadways. Campbell Avenue, 152nd to 157th. Again, this is just another overview with respect to the funding. 2005 funding supported emergency repair projects for senior homes, where the city was on the city's waiting list. Again, this is some of the inherent challenges from a budgetary perspective. Some of the goals we were able to accomplish, again, from the budgetary perspective. Some of the accomplished goals. One of the key initiatives that was very instrumental in fighting crime, we were able to purchase Affordable Lights, which really deterred crime. Tonight you hear about the 19-year low of the crime. Another goal was, in addition to hiring 10 patrol officers to supplement the city's public safety efforts, we were constantly redirecting dollars to replace Harvey's aging fleet service. So again, I'm very proud of the work that Chief Eads was able to accomplish, and I'm looking forward to tonight this young man I'm bringing forward. Family Christian Health Center, again, another one of the projects that we were able to accomplish. So again, kudos to Alderman Price, Alderman Nesbitt for standing on the front line to ensure that we're able to bridge the gap between health services in our community. Again, this basically talks about during the first 4 years, some of the things that we were able to accomplish by streamlining city services. Certainly, while many will attempt to criticize improvements in the finalization, so again, I'm excited to say that we have accomplished the following developments. Just a real quick snapshot of some of the developments. Again, $800,000 strip malls. Again, I won't name them or list all of them. Again, $15 million housing development, $1.5 million food pantry. So again, these developments totaled over $371 million that was infused to our local economy. 2007 to 2008, certainly again, we utilizing CDBG funding. Rhonda Harding, who did just a phenomenal job with respect to bringing in grant funds to assist emergency housing rehab. We certainly missed her dearly, but she did just a phenomenal job. Who was able to assist us in attracting businesses in our great city. And this is just some of the streets resurfacing that took place in 2008. Again, this is some of the streets that have been resurfaced in the great city. As you can see, each ward has been represented with respect to resurfacing. Some of the community events, we talked about the 4th of July parade, turkey giveaways, and one I'm very proud of is our toy giveaway. Public safety dispatch center. Again, we have one of the state-of-the-art 911 centers. Certainly, I'm very proud of, again, Chief Eads, who did a phenomenal job of working with our grant expert, Jose Ragalati, who did a phenomenal job in terms of tying that piece in to ensure that we're able to receive that particular 911 center. We certainly was committed to reducing crime by increasing additional police. 12 additional police officers were hired. $275,000 was allocated to bolster the Harvard Police Department's service vehicle fleet. That was 2008. Again, something else that Chief Eads was able to accomplish with grant dollars. Certainly, it's gives us an opportunity to be in the 21st century to have a mobile command unit to address just a plethora of department under the leadership of Chief Bell, Deputy Chief Bowie, that just did just a phenomenal job in terms of outreach, education, fighting fires, and just constantly putting in place programs that certainly tie into the community, have a very successful open house program, but more importantly, our fire department is one of the best in the country. 2009, 2010, certainly we were able to add, again, 10 new officers to our roster. Over 16 weeks, the new recruits attended the Chicago Police Academy. You'll hear about a young man who went through the Chicago Police Detective Academy as well. Harvey Police Department Fitness Center. William Brady was world-renowned architect from Harvey Thornton graduate. We were able to rename that particular fitness center at the police station after William Brady. Again, it gives us an opportunity to allow our men and women of the police department to stay fit. But more importantly, it's a tribute to the great work that William Brady has done throughout his career. He's passed, but he left such a tremendous legacy in terms of the great things he's done as being became the first African American president of the Eastern Illinois chapter of American Institute of Architects in 1985. In 1991, he was inducted into the American Institute of Architects College Fellow. So again, he's certainly missed, and just a tremendous young man who came from our Public Works. Again, we have one of the finest public works departments in the South suburban area. On any given day, rain, snow, sleet, or hail, you can find our police department out there our street department doing a phenomenal job. I want to give kudos to Superintendent Fisher as well as Superintendent Seven. You guys stand up, you guys are just phenomenal. Chief Bell, Fire Chief Bell, we just stand so the crowd can see who you are. And Deputy Chief Bowie. Great job. Okay, I like this. Babe Ruth said it's hard to be the person who never gives up. Again, Babe Ruth was just one of my favorites. I thought it was fitting for this young man I'm going to introduce tonight. 2011 and 2012, again, we talked about economic development being the heartbeat of our community. Some of our goals was to increase our tax base, job development, business retention, economic diversification, self-sufficiency. We were able to do all that. This is some of the economic development that, again, myself, I was in there, played a major role in bringing some of these businesses to our community. As you drive through town, you certainly can thank these individuals. If you like, you can also just give me a wave. The I-57, I-90, 294 interchange is going to be a new gateway to the city of Harvey. So that's very important in terms of economic development. So we're very happy that that particular interchange will be the gateway to the city of Harvey. You will see it will really enhance our business community. Dixie Square demolition, again, kudos to the alderman, but more importantly, kudos to Attorney Betty Lewis, who worked very hard with our state legislators to remove certainly the oldest white elephant in the country. This was just a tremendous opportunity to remove an eyesore. We are presently in the process of trying to get some individuals who purchase their property. We right at the cusp of that particular development to ensure that we can put that property back on the tax. So again, this was major because again, I certainly want to give kudos to my two predecessors, who attempted to try to get it demolished. They worked very diligently, but again, it was our administration was able to remove that, the oldest white elephant in the country. And then 2013 to 14, one of the things that we wanted to do was really try to bring forth some stabilization. We wanted to model the great things that young kids need in our community, but more importantly, we wanted to have a team approach as we deal with our employees. And so far, I certainly want to, if all my department heads, would you stand, please, all my department heads, particularly with respect to Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams has come on board and has done a phenomenal, give Mr. Williams our finance department with respect to just a lot of things I'll be talking to tonight about our tax levies and things of that nature. Some of the community outreach that we have been doing, Christmas basket giveaways, Christmas toy giveaways, diamond dressing boutiques, Fourth of July parades, Harvest Day, summer academic sports jamboree, Cinco de Mayo parade, and just a host of things to try to keep the community connected with the city of Harvey. This is more of economic development. For example, Allied 2 expansion project, again, SR Sports Bar and Grill, 164th and Hall Street, for transportation development and expansion, Ingalls Hospital emergency room expansion. The young man there is Deputy Chief Neil. He should have received a ticket for right. No, but again, that was just some of the state-of-the-art segues that we were able to get add to our police department. So again, I certainly want to thank Chief Lees and Deputy Chief Banks, Deputy Chief Thomas, Governor Quinn, Governor Harris, Principal Ratliff, Dr. Dawson was there too. That was the rededication of the Lou Boudreaux room at Thornton High School. So a lot of influential individuals from the city of Harvey came out to be a part of that. This is just one of the things that I believe in education and information. I wanted to give my deputy chiefs an opportunity to attend the prestigious Northwestern Staff Command School. And as you can see, we have 6 individuals who were able to attend that particular prestigious Northwestern University. And they completed at the head of the class. Very proud of them. They did a phenomenal job. Again, I think just kudos. 2015, 2017, again, we just kind of stuck, but we had some real great talent. But I just believe that we have to continue to move forward, even though things were stagnating. However, we were able to weather the storm. This is Hurricane Harvey relief. Then Attorney Lewis, Deputy Chief Thomas, Alderman Keys, and they were very instrumental in going to Houston and just taking truckloads of water to assist in that horrific event that took place in Houston. So City of Harvey delivered, had an opportunity to meet the mayor and the police department. Again, I want to thank you, Alderman Keys, for you did a phenomenal job out there. Attorney Lewis as well. This is our beautification. I believe that's Alderman Nesbitt. I believe that's Alderman Price. Yeah, it is Alderman Price. Yeah. So one of the things that I'm very proud of, all the aldermen, in terms of going into the awards and being basically the mayor of their particular awards. But Alderman Nesbitt and Alderman Price consistently over the years, and we're talking 6 years, have constantly just done some great things in their ward. Alderman Keys constantly doing the same thing, and certainly I want to thank Martin Clark and Willington too for starting to move forward with the new initiative. But again, I can talk about the Alderman initiatives that they do in their ward to help beautify the city, particularly when the city is just suffering from having the normal amount of employees to move the city forward. These individuals step in and just do a great job. And this is some of the things that they have done in 2017: tree removal, board ups, 171 homes, 40 garages, 15,000 tires have been removed thus far. That was in 2017. 11,000 tons of asphalt was used for approximately 2,260 potholes. There were 702 homes and vacant lots cut for the year 2017. There were 19 seniors on the program for 2017 who received free grass and shoveling services. We had a joint effort with ComEd that fixed over 75 wooden poles. So again, I certainly want to thank Superintendent Sepik. He did just a great job in terms of monitoring and managing the men to ensure that the city would certainly provide those particular services. The fire department, I spoke regarding the great things that Chief Bell is doing in terms of pre-planning walkthroughs, hitting on Deputy Chief Bowie, visiting schools, visiting churches, actively participating in various ways, and but more importantly, being experts in fighting fire. This is new police cars. Again, so again, that basically, setting out on a journey, do not seek advice from those who have never left home. I thought that was very befitting. Happy New Year. Oh, yeah. So,
Man, Sean, which part of the agenda that you want to put that you're talking about? The part of the agenda?
for the appointment,
No, you're talking about Mr. Price. You said you want to do that before you
yeah,
start.
certainly, I would like to add it under petition of communications. If you get it. And lastly, Reverend, you talk about the new project with Cook County that is very.
Would love to, Your Honor. Happy New Year, everyone. Mayor Kellogg, to all elected officials, Attorney Fioretti, and all those that are present. Mayor, it is with great delight and with a lot of commendation to Attorney Betty Lewis, who has done a tremendous job aiding and assisting the intergovernmental agreement with Cook County Land Bank Association. We have the Chicago China Gateway Project is a reality. This council board voted and approved it. And on this morning, I spoke with Caitlin Sharrow and what's the other attorney name? Hansel Blink. We're expanding the project. It was initially a 300,000 square foot manufacturing and distribution center. We're fast approaching expanding that to a 500,000 square foot warehouse and distribution facility. The RFP has been let, so we will actually within 10 days there will be the first pre-bid meeting for all those who are interested in doing the demolition. They are in the process of fast tracking this project for the city of Harvey. Mr. Mayor Chung Tam, our Chinese brother, told me to, by all means, give you his regards and that he's excited upon his return. He will be meeting with you. The city of Harvey is on the threshold of a great renaissance because not only with that, Alderman Price and his directive, I reached out to Ricky Rockets. They have not said yes, but the great thing is they did not say no. And I spoke with Stephanie Melito at the county regarding our other projects, a third-party requester, and we're in the process of trying to get all that fast track now that the holidays are behind us. So that means Harvey will soon be having a brand new grocery store as well as an automobile manufacturing facility.
I'm still believing for Ricky Watkins, but we do have the Sharks expansion, the Power Mart going on as well. And we're right now in the midst of Fuchs Lubricants with phase 2 of $32 million expansion. I didn't happen to see that on the PowerPoint, Mayor. Fuchs is phase 2 of $32 million expansion, as well as US Ecology on 164. So what we're talking about roughly, just for the citizens of Harvey, Lord willing, within the next 90 to 120 days, they'll start taking applications for potentially 150 new FTE, full-time equivalent jobs. The tax base that will be generated, and what I'm really excited about is the international project, Mayor, because it's going to generate $12 million in taxes, which will totally eradicate what the deficit has been. You know, and the benefit and the beauty of it, they're not asking the city for nothing. You know, y'all need to put y'all hands together. And this is in the process of, Mayor, I just want to commend you for your steadfastness and your unmovability and your dynamic and visionary leadership to equip the team and give the direction to make sure that these things come to pass.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Point of order.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to read this proposal that I had made. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate your support. I had put this proposal together, and I was saying basically that, as Alderman of the 4th Ward, Harvey, Illinois, I would like to further extend my appreciation to the Honorable Mayor Eric J. Kellogg by proposing that the City Council vote to name the street 150th at Myrtle, dedicated in the Honorable Mayor Eric J. Kellogg. Mayor Kellogg has been a mentor, a big brother, father figure, a friend, not only to me, but hundreds of children that he helped raise starting from the time I was in 7th grade. You know, it's amazing to me that a man of his stature was willing and able to take the time out and the paces he did to keep the young children of Harvey, Illinois on the right track. Being mayor of Harvey, Illinois for the past 14 years is an example of just how much he cares about the city, which he has been proud to run for well over a decade. Our mayor deserves to have his name on one of the many streets that he himself has named after various residents, movie stars, entertainers, and athletes that came out of this great city of Harvey, Illinois. Please join me in supporting the proposal to honor Mayor Eric J. Kellogg for the street named after him from this great city of Harvey, Illinois.
Amen.
Thank you, sir. But at this point, we can come back to that. I want to do something real quick. When you look for the qualities and characteristics in a police chief, the research indicates that some of the qualities on the national level, which are utilized in the selection of a police chief, or the successful hiring of a police chief, they should possess some of the characteristics and traits and skill sets such as passion, ethical and professional responsibility, being creative, attention to detail, self-reflection, verbal and nonverbal communication. But I think the most important factors that make chiefs excellent chiefs are someone who, on a daily basis, is at the police station doing phenomenal things, someone who is not afraid to roll up his sleeves and work with his men, and basically putting boots on the ground. I think officers are looking for a leader that they can trust. I think that when you talk about the promotional process with respect to the world, and I talk about the national searches that's associated with the process of the world, there's a process that not only a process, but a practice that I think trumps all of them. And that particular process is the process when God puts his hand on a young man.
Amen.
That's the process that trumps all national searches.
Amen.
So in essence, in a lot of situations, young men and women, they think that in reality it's really them but it's not really them. It's really God really advancing His kingdom by putting people in position that have the integrity and have the spirituality to move whatever particular position that God sees fit. So I think it's very important that what you are actually seeing, you are really seeing God's fulfilling His prophecy.
Amen.
And so for today, I certainly would just ask you to look at and bear witness. And why I ask you to bear witness, I must take this opportunity to thank the Supreme Captain, one of my top police administrators, Mustafa Farrakhan. Would you stand, please, give him a round of applause. So today you will bear witness to Luke 13:30, which speaks to the fact that those last will be first, and those first will be last. So, and when I kind of tussled with that particular scripture, I was kind of confirming the fact of our new chief. And so when a candidate comes from a humble background in the beginning, starting in the basement of the police station as a booking officer, and then he elevates himself through education, certification, to put himself in position to become the top cop in our community. I think from the biblical perspective, that's the last become the first. And so he is the first chief under 40 years old in the city of Harlem. I think he's the first chief that really went from the bottom to the top in the city of Harlem. So another characteristic, I think, that chiefs should have open door policy. They should know all their officers. They should have what you call integrity, humility, someone that can admit their mistakes and work on improvement. So tonight I have the distinct honor, the privilege, and the pleasure to announce the appointment of Deputy Chief Greg Thomas, who currently serves as the Deputy Chief of Police. And tonight we're going to promote him to Chief of Police. I just want to say that Chief Eves, he served the city with dedication for over 33 years, and so it's a big job that Deputy Chief is getting ready to move, step in. And just like former Chief Eves, Deputy Chief Thomas is a graduate of School District 147, he's a graduate of the proud Wildcat, a graduate of Thornton Heights Township. I don't think you heard me. I said Wildcat.
Wildcat.
Stand up. You know how Wildcats do. That's right. That's right. So I just want to say that Deputy Thomas, Deputy Chief Thomas was an internal candidate who he did extremely well in the interview. It was like I was just sitting back, just amazed, but not really amazed because I saw his him transition from position to position. Many critics might say, "Okay, why do you do a national search?" And my response to the critics is, "Why waste time? Why waste money? He knows the city of Harlem, he's qualified, and he's ready."
Amen.
And so lastly, more importantly, Deputy Chief Thomas has been promoted all the way to the chief spot through hard work, dedication, education, training, and commitment to the 25,000 residents of the city of Harvey. He served as patrol, detective, passed the sergeant exam, the deputy chief, and I can just go on and on. Northwestern staff, command, but tonight I'm going to show you just a quick. Yes, I'm going to show you something real quick on the PowerPoint. Kind of speaks to who this young man is. But he brings decades of experience, knowledge, and expertise. He's homegrown. He's a family man. He's married to Steph, 3 beautiful girls. Steph here? Four. Forgive me. Steph here? Stand up. Right here. Mom. Oh, Steph.
All right.
Grandma, you stand here?
Yeah.
And the girl. And the girl. And the girl.
What girl? Oh,
Right here.
I'm getting ready. I'm gonna say the rest of life. What's wrong with that? And if I keep talking, we'll be here all night if I keep talking like relatives. But again, his mother and grandmother and family, they still live in Harvey.
Amen.
I think the job of the community is to groom young people. And what you see tonight with respect to this young man is a young man who has been groomed with respect to matriculating to the educational systems, but more importantly, growing up in the streets of Harvey, Illinois. And so as today he said he vowed to continue the transformation and the revitalization of the police department. He's committed to ensuring that the historic year that we have with respect to the police department experiencing the lowest crime rate in 19 years. He's committed to that. He's committed to ensuring that we have community policing. And so, I'm just honored. And then lastly, I'm just honored to have a man of faith who's morally grounded and has the people at heart. He believes in accountability, responsibility. He understands community policing and the need to build relationships between the community and the police. Deputy Chief Thomas can and will hit the ground running. As a new police chief in Harvey, he has an excellent relationship with our community. As you can see tonight, a lot of individuals have come out. We have Dr. Jerry Doss, the assistant superintendent. Please stand on 205. Part of that mentoring process. Yes. Before I pin this young man, I certainly it would be remiss of me if I didn't allow just a few people to say it. Dr. Howard.
Good. One, Greg has been a phenomenal person. I've known him since he was in the 7th grade, and I was an athletic director and a basketball coach for the Chicago public school system. And he snuck into Chicago one of those years and was at our school. He was one of my basketball players. I don't think on our first place team. We had a pretty competitive team. And I just want to say, Greg, I thank God that you chose law enforcement over basketball. But yet still, Greg has, he's been phenomenal to work with because whether, I bug on him, Neil, and Banks all the time. And sometimes I have to wake him up at 1 in the morning because the press tends to call us if there is a crime committed that time of night. And I'll wake him up, he'll come into the station, and I'll prep him for the press. I normally do the front end. When the crime is solved, he comes in, and my phone rings off the hook, literally, for many of the police chiefs and other PR directors because they said, he's a star in the making. They've been saying that the last 5-6 years. So I'm not surprised about your phenomenal appointment tonight. I just know the city of Harvey is blessed because you have the city of Harvey running through your veins like any other person I've ever known. But more importantly, your example to the interfaith community, whether it be the Nation of Islam, the Christian community, our Indonesian brothers,
you have been right there for them. And to that shows the character of you, and your mom did a phenomenal job in grandma in raising you.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. One more time, I wanted to take the opportunity, glad I did have the opportunity. We honor the Lord Jesus Christ, who is number one in my life, and to the mayor, and to the city council, and to all of our delegates, the attorney running for office, and to whom honors due. I'm going to be brief because an old preacher told me don't make folks happy twice. Happy when you get up and happy when you sit down. Not to mention, I want to see Alabama roll over Georgia tonight. My heart was bursting at the seams because this young man served under me for 10 years, over 10 years. When you talked about accountability, when he couldn't be at service because he was helping solve a murder, or when he was in the streets helping solve crime, he would contact me. The same leadership accountability that I learned, God sent me him. And it brings me to tears because whatever you sow, that's what you're going to reap.
That's right.
If you sow accountability, you're going to reap accountability.
That's right.
This young man, along with Stephanie and his family, and I want to take the time to honor my wife and family, this young man and Stephanie, and I say this with so much passion, that's why don't think I'm coming across as any other way but just elated, excited, and happy because there were many services that the Lord spoke through me and I told him that he would be the chief.
Amen.
I don't think any of us deserve most of what we receive in life, and whatever we receive in life is by the grace of God.
Amen.
I'm going to say that one more time, it's by the grace of God.
Amen.
It's not that you're so deserving, but God has favored this. I got on Facebook and if all your critics about him, please direct them to me. I'll stream live. I'll hold a press conference. I want us all, before you do the appointment, to just take the opportunity. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Because what this young man sowed in my life was loyalty when other folks ran out on me. When other people did believe in me, he did. And I want to thank him. And I want to say to anybody, I challenge anybody. I don't usually do Facebook. My wife said, you need to stop. I streamed, told them, go search it. SWAT training. I watched him sometimes neglect some of his church duties, but I understood because he's getting ready to serve a greater call, and you couldn't have said it better. He's getting ready to serve the kingdom. Let's put our hands together for the new chief, Gregory Thomas. Come on.
Before we bring on the chief, without getting past the picture, I think he's taking the spiritual liberty to move things on. Yeah, but I have to, take this time to ask if any aldermen or elected officials would like to say anything with respect to Deputy Thomas, Alder Price.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. First, I've always liked GT as a person. Secondly, he's always showed me that he had faith in God. Thirdly, his dedication to Harvey was so important to me. I actually had a chance to not so much work with him, but work with him because I was bugging him and calling him all day and night. When an unfortunate incident happened to one of my former football players. GT stayed on it day and night. They were knocking doors 3, 4 in the morning. When the state's attorney did not want to move with the charges, I saw that he was seriously disappointed because he knew he had did what he needed to do, and they were lagging, worrying about losing cases instead of worrying about solving a murder. At this time, I don't believe there's another person around here that's better fit. I'm extremely happy for you and your family because of your time, dedication, and commitment. And I just say congratulations and continue doing a great job, brother.
One of the things I would like to say is an observation about Chief Thomas was his constant courteousness, where he shook everybody's hand in the city council, regardless of whatever issue that was going on. He's a young man that I saw also too his great talent, that he will be able to do what he has to do because it's a great area. You have a wonderful family. You always talk about them. So remember when you had a little kid that was lost his father? I stood by him. That right there tells me if a man cares about the little thing, he cares about the big thing. So I commend you for that elevation and go forward.
Amen.
Yeah, I'd like to extend my condolences too to Greg Thomas. I met Greg. I'm sorry.
You good, Alderman, you good. You good, all right.
But Greg, I would just like to say that since the moment that I met you, before I even became alderman, and it was around 3 years ago working out in the planning department, one thing I admired about you, I never thought you was better than anybody, and whenever I wanted to talk to you, you would talk to me like I'm just as important as anybody else. You know, that really impressed me. You know, I know you have a tough job ahead of you, but I think you got the heart to do it, and the spirit, and the courage, and you come from a great family. So one more time for Grandma and Mom and the family, can y'all stand up for a minute? Uncle Squeak, you in the back there. I know you're back there. Squeak! You back there. You come from a great family, great tradition. You had an excellent mentor, plenty of mentors that you had in the city of Harvey. One of the things that I would like to commend you the most for is being a single male parent, for you being a family man. You know, any man that steps up and raises his family, you know, is really proud. You know, I'm proud to be around, proud to be associated with. When we went down to Houston, you know, we bonded pretty well. We talked about back in the day and how things was, and how we could make a difference on everything, and you could remember and everything. And I knew right then, I said, you're going to be the one. You're going to be the chief. So I just want to congratulate you and best of luck, you know, and whenever you need me, I'm there. And once again, congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations, Chief. I didn't realize everybody felt the same way as I did concerning the new chief. But he's an outstanding person. And I really appreciate the fact that you got the job. And I know you're going to do an outstanding job. So good luck. Go get him.
All right.
So, Mustafa Farrakhan, Greg and I went to the academy together. So, would you mind saying a few words? And then we'll move on with it.
First, it's true honor to be here today.
scripture talks about, let he who is greatest among you be your servant. This man is really a servant of the people of Harlem.
Yes, yes.
I would say that as a man to a man, this man believes in justice, equal justice under the law. He believes in justice applied equally to all, regardless of your creed, your class, or your color. So I'm honored to be your brother in anything that you need from me. I'm on your phone call.
This time I ask the clerk to,
I had something to say, Mr. Mayor.
okay, Marvin Clark, all right, sorry, give me.
Okay. Sometimes I seem to be the black sheep of the family. However, I wanted to say about Greg Thomas is the simple fact that as an attorney, I see a lot of people go through the justice system, specifically the juvenile justice system. And a lot of times I found to say I don't get to see good police do good police work. Well, when I met him, that's the first thing I saw was good police. And as a community, that's what we really want, is good police. Now, man of integrity, that's good. Family man, that's good. But on top of all of that, it's nice to be able to have somebody that we know is going to do their job, that is going to take care of his community, and is going to make sure that he shows up for work daily so that he can protect the citizens in the city of Harvey. So I don't know where it's Miami or Miami or someone like that. Congratulations to you. Oh, just on another note, another thing I mentioned to him the other day was that one of the real convincing things for me was after I got a chance to talk to his mother. Because sometimes when you get to talk to a person's parent, you can get an idea of what type of upbringing they've had and what type of man, especially with men, that they'll turn out to be. So I definitely give his mother kudos for what he's done so far. And once again, thank you so much for serving us as an advocate.
Mom, you Randy want to say anything, or you? I mean, I have to.
I just like to say that Greg always been a child. Whatever when coming up as a child, whatever he put in mind to do, he always put his whole heart to do. You know, what you see is what you get from Greg. He never pretend. I always used to say my daughter and my oldest son, you know, they would, as kids, they did things and they would plot to lie to me. But Greg always told me the truth. Always said me, I would let them go first, and then I ask him, he'll tell me the truth. But I just want to just say that, but I really believe that you all chose a great man for this job. I believe he'll do it with all his heart and soul and mind. You know, I know he have dedicated himself to Harvey. You know, many times people have asked him to move, but he said he loved Harvey. He was raised up here. This is what he wanted to be. You know, me as a mom, I fussed him many a time. I was like, what about my daughter-in-law and my grandchildren? You know, because he was here. He was here all times of night, all time of day. But I thank God for everybody, and I thank God for my son, who I love very much. He's a dear son, and I thank God for them.
Randy don't want to say that. Last point, we had a very interesting conversation today, and I just want to recognize Chief Cook from Glenwood. Chief Cook, phenomenal chief of police in Glenwood. Chief, would you like to?
Yes, greetings everybody. Greetings. President of the SWAT team. I'm a SWAT officer for over 30 years. And I'm real sensitive about the people that come on the SWAT team because we dealing with mitigating some serious issues, and our mission is to save lives. And so when people come on the SWAT team, Greg was the second chief that I let come through. And I normally don't go that high as the chief of police, but he passed the first test. He was on time every day. Punctuality. He loves Harvey. He educated me about the city of Harvey. I think he is going to create public value in this town. This town is one of the most important towns in the South Suburbs. And you got the man right there that's going to do a good job for you. He's going to network with other municipalities as he has done. And I'm just grateful to know him. I learned something, even though he makes me feel old, he's under 40, and I've been in this for 38 years. He's a blessed man. He loves his family and children. He's talking about them. We have conversations all the time. So, Mayor, you did a good job in appointing this man as chief of police. He's going to serve this town well. Thank you very much.
Any officers from other towns, stand up.
Raise your hand, man.
Right there. No? Okay, all right. Okay, we have the hands of crabs.
Stand.
Stand.
Stand, all the officers.
It's a little bit about Greg. Ready?
Keith.
Amen. Okay.
So they got sacked on the what?
That's a
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Would Deputy Chief Thomas please come forward?
Yeah.
Bishop, Kim, you good? Let's wait for Booty to get in place. Yes, sir, we're ready.
Clerk, come forward, please.
You gotta stick it in his chest.
Right, okay. That's right. That's where you in first.
Repeat after me, please. I,
Raise your right hand.
Gregory Thomas,
having been appointed
having been appointed
to the office of
to the office of
Chief of Police
Chief of Police
in the city of Harvey,
in the city of Harvey,
in the county of Cook,
in the county of Cook,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duty of the office of Chief of Police
that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Chief of Police
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
And this is subscribed before me this 8th day of January 2018. Nancy L. Clark, City Clerk. Thank you.
Yeah, give me that. Speech. Come on, Reverend.
Psalms 37:23 says, "The step of a good man is ordered, and he's delighted in his ways." For that, I truly give honor to God. I thank Him for this opportunity. Certainly, this is not a mentor who has believed in me, who's blessed me with this opportunity. I appreciate that. Thank you. Next, I want to thank the Harvey Police Department, the employees there. The mere definition of a leader only exists with the word follow. If no one's willing to follow you, then you're not leading anybody. I certainly understand the task ahead. I'm familiar with some of the issues that face us, but I pray to God that I'm able to be what it is that you need to move on to the future. Also, I want to thank the citizens as well as this great council. I have addressed you before as an officer, as a detective, as a deputy chief, and now the chief. And I've always spoken about how I'll be that man, that watchman in the middle of the night, and I'm more committed to that now than ever. I also want to thank my family who's out here, my friends, my church family. I appreciate you. I love you guys. Son, Becky, my mom and grandma, and lastly, most importantly, I want to thank my wife Stephanie, my daughters Elise, Emily, Peyton, and Alicia. Yes, sir. I want to say congratulations to them as well. They became chief. What you don't know, what you probably don't see, is they have shared the man in their life with this city my whole journey.
Amen.
Yes.
There have been many nights I was waking because of issues in Harvey. There's been many times I missed the dinner table because of issues in Harvey. And the sacrifice that they made, certainly this journey has been fulfilled with them. And congratulations to you. I love you all. God bless you.
Yes, sir.
I need a motion for confirmation.
So moved.
Move the second. Roll call.
Alderman Whittington,
Yes.
Alderman Clark,
Aye.
Alderman Key,
Yes.
Alderman Nesbitt,
Aye.
and Alderman Price.
Yes.
As mayor, my first order to the chief, go back there and hug the rock, your granny, where I'm gonna stop.
If the council would allow me to, I would like to move to resolution 2855. But let me, first of all, publicly, just acknowledge, Jim Apple. Please. Mr. Apple, I want to personally thank you for making the children in Harvey have a phenomenal Christmas because of your assistance with the toy giveaway. So we certainly thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much. So this time I would ask the council for resolution 2855, a resolution for the city of Harvey, Cook County, Illinois, authorizing Class A property tax extension.
Point of order.
Yes, sir.
Are we amending the rest of these, or are we just going?
Yes, I was just trying to just move to, resolution 2855 because the staff has been waiting so patiently. That's why.
I make a motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Let's move to second roll call.
Okay, give that to me again. Motion.
I motion to suspend the rules on resolution 2855. I think Mr. Whittington second.
Yes, it did.
Okay. Alderman Whittington,
Aye.
Alderman Clark,
Aye.
Alderman Key,
Aye.
Alderman Nesbitt,
Aye.
and Alderman Price.
Yes.
Rules suspended.
I make a motion to approve resolution 2855.
Aye. Second it.
Move to second roll call.
Alderman Whittington,
Aye.
Alderman Clark,
Aye.
Alderman Key,
Aye.
Alderman Nesbitt,
Aye.
and Alderman Price.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
I would
Motion
ask,
carried.
that, that compatible resolution would be 2856 if I would be, it would be in order if in fact if the council would, yeah, 2856. I'm sorry, 2854
And 56.
and 56. If we could do 2854 first, we need certainly the rules.
This for the Class 8, Knickerbocker.
Yes.
I make a motion to suspend the rules for resolution 2854.
Second. There's a motion on the floor. Move to second.
Alderman Whittington,
Aye.
Alderman Clark,
Aye.
Alderman Key,
Aye.
Alderman Nesbitt,
Aye.
and Alderman Price.
Aye. I make a motion to approve resolution 2854.
Second.
Roll call.
Alderman Whittington,
Aye.
Alderman Clark,
Aye.
Alderman Key,
Aye.
Alderman Nesbitt,
Aye.
and Alderman Price.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Yeah,
I make a motion to suspend the rules for resolution 2856.
Second.
move to second roll call.
Alderman Whittington,
Aye.
Alderman Clark,
Aye.
Alderman Key,
Aye.
Alderman Nesbitt, Alderman Price.
Yes.
Rules suspended.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2856.
Second.
Alderman Whittington,
Aye.
Alderman Clark,
Aye.
Alderman Key,
Aye.
Alderman Nesbitt,
Aye.
and Alderman Price.
Yes.
Motion carried.
With regard to ordinance 3363, I'd like to ask if it's the Alderman's pleasure. Public Act 100-0554 amended the State Officials Employees Ethics Act, which included section 70-5, which mandates that every unit of local government, including municipalities, has a sexual harassment prohibition policy and an ordinance to go along with it. At the Illinois Municipal League, we did go back and forth about the language for the policy, and we at Harvey are in the process of training all employees on the policy. I would ask if it's your pleasure today to suspend the rules and approve this. As of the effective date, which was November 16th, we are supposed to adopt this by 60 days after that date, which would be January 15th. And so before you do have the ordinance and the policy, I'd ask if you could suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend.
Second.
Ordinance 3363.
Second.
Move to second, roll call.
Alderman Whittington,
Aye.
Alderman Clark,
Aye.
Alderman Key,
Aye.
Alderman Nesbitt,
Aye.
and Alderman Price.
Aye.
Rules suspended.
I make the motion to accept ordinance 3363.
Second.
Move to second, roll call.
Alderman Whittington,
Aye.
Alderman Clark,
Aye.
Alderman Key,
Aye.
Alderman Nesbitt,
Aye.
Alderman Price.
Can I see the fine print on that ordinance before I move? Yes,
You don't want
yes,
motion carried.
Also, resolution 2845, second reading. What's the pleasure of the council?
Motion to table. Motion. 2845.
Want to send it back to you?
Yes.
Oh, so
All right.
the motion,
Table.
Table,
Resolution
okay.
2845.
okay.
Let's get back to the EDC. There's been, our office has been received calls relative to, the article that was in the newspaper, regarding the issue of paychecks. So, Mr. Williams, would you please, provide us a little update, so that we can, let the citizens.
First, man, I really like to discuss personnel issues in public.
Yes, sir.
All employees should.
Yes, sir. All employees are paid, outstanding.
All
Mr.
employees.
Mayor.
All employees. All employees.
No, we're not.
You're not an employee.
Protected official.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes,
Are we
sir.
under 5, 6, 7, and 8?
Oh, yes, sir, yes, sir.
I know we're kind of out of order, so I
Yes,
just
sir.
want.
So we did 5, so let's move to, city treasurer's report. Thank you all. Okay, number 7, approval minutes dated, November 13,
Make a
2017.
motion to approve
Motion.
minutes dated November 13, 2017.
Is, motion on the floor. Move to second, roll call.
Alderman Whittington, approval of the minutes for November 13th.
Roll call.
Alderman Whittington,
Aye.
Alderman Clark, Alderman Key,
Aye.
Alderman Nesbitt,
Aye.
and Alderman Price.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Motion carried.
I think I have the correct number, pull it up, bills list. But, as for approval, I think, correct, not, with correctly, $2,720,000, $60.99.
For approval of bills. Second.
Move to second, roll call.
Alderman Whittington,
No.
Alderman Clark,
Just a point, a question. Did this go through, finance committee?
Not committee.
No. Dave?
Alderman Key,
Yes.
Alderman Nesbitt,
Aye.
and Alderman Price.
Yes.
This time we move to, petition and communication.
Do you want to, yeah, the petitions and communications? I make a motion to accept A, honorary street name after Mayor Eric J. Kellogg, 150th from Myrtle.
Second. Move to second, roll call.
Alderman Whittington,
Well, they always say you gotta give somebody their roses while they can smell So I guess it would be nice for you to come out and look at, see your name on there. And so, yes, go ahead.
Thank you all.
Get your roses.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Thank you all. Appreciate it all. All right. Thank you all.
Alderman Nesbitt.
It's a happy day.
Yes.
Will it be green and white?
More like crimson green. Yes, sir. Thank you.
And I like to be consistent too, it wasn't on the agenda, another one. Another very sweet name, of Keith Price, Harriman Boulevard, this, in his ward. So let's, vote on that.
Second. Move the second roll call.
Amen.
Okay,
Oh my God.
I didn't say to him, man.
Oh my God. I guess it must be.
Right.
Look, I'm not gonna block your roses. Go ahead and get your roses. Aye.
Appreciate it. All right.
Amen. Alderman Clark. Alderman Key.
All right. That's what's going on.
Alderman Nesbitt.
Aye.
Okay.
I already got some folks.
Okay, I got it. Motion carried.
Yes. I just want to thank Alderman Keys for introducing that legislation. But then I want to thank Alderman Whittington, Alderman Clark, Alderman Price, Alderman Nesbitt, and Alderman Keys for just bestowing that gift of a street name. I had a park named after me. They took it down. So maybe these guys they won't be mad. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Hey, he take that sign every night.
Yeah, look, right by my bedroom. First of all, I want to thank everybody for voting yes. I know it's been back and forth years and some harsh words exchanged sometimes. One thing that I know is the mayor and I have had many battles. But that doesn't take away from his accomplishments. His accomplishments are his accomplishments, and I definitely believe people should smell their roses while they're here. So I would definitely stand with you on the renaming of murder. I remember when, years ago, I used to complain about the streets getting renamed. And it was after, I call it a little political maturity, that I actually pulled the mayor in the back and was asking him, man, why the hell are you renaming all the streets? And the mayor said that he believed that the black young boys and girls should see names of black people on those streets as a history lesson to people who have accomplished things in this city.
Amen.
At that point, I started really realizing, like, yeah, that is cool. You know, children might say, well, who was Bishop Owens? You know, or who was Napoleon Harris? Or who was Farrakhan? And now some youngsters might say, well, who was Keith Price? And I appreciate it and know that I'll continue to bust my butt for this city. And I really only want to see this city get what it deserves. And I know we're right on the brink of everything that this city deserves. And man, it starts with a great chief, and man, you appointed one tonight. That's good. Well, again, I think when you think about modern day history makers, certainly we are in the midst of modern day history makers.
it was historic, when Alderman Price won, I think, 4 seats. Yeah, 4 years. I mean, that was, definitely something that the kids need to know from a history perspective, that, one man can be elected to 4 seats at one time. And then I think you served on every board, what, Park District?
Yes, sir. President of every board with the exception of 152, I did make vice president.
Okay. Right. And then I think you and Julius was, former Alderman Julius Patterson was the only ones who won 4. I think it was
I don't know if Julius won 4 or 3. I know I won 4.
Okay, I think
he might have had 4 too. I know he had
205.
Oh yeah, 205.
Plus 205.
Yep.
And,
he won
Park
everything.
District,
Was it 150?
Thornton, and, no, the school board over in,
Yeah, 151.
yeah, 151, yeah, it was 4.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we have 2 history makers, and so we just wanted
You got here, Alderman, 1 District 1, 205, Park District.
Yeah.
Five.
Library. Yeah, so he is the 5.
Yeah, 5, okay.
5 total. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, 6. Well, 6, that's what. Yeah, that was.
But one thing I can say, I was the youngest to win for
Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah, this time,
If you're done, I want to move that we adjourn.
second row,
I got one thing I gotta do, and I gotta have it over to you guys today, but I will not be long at all.
I've never heard an attorney not speaking long.
I promise you it won't be long. Won't even be a minute and 30 seconds. Got it. May I? If the council's okay with it? All right, here's the thing. Trying to move ahead, trying to move forward, this is what I'm suggesting, and what I'd like for the council to take a look at is an assignment agreement between the Cook County Sheriff and the Village of Harvey. I've done some of the work, but not all of the work. This basically allows the city of Harvey to participate in the Renew program with the Cook County Sheriff's Office. The Renew program basically allows for us to be able to, for the Cook County Sheriff to step in and help to demolish some of our vacant homes, to board up some of our unsecured homes, and to also cut the grasses and the shrubs and upkeep those homes as well, in addition with the city of Harvey. I would like for the council, because of course this isn't on the agenda, so we're not voting on it, but I would like for the council to at least to review it, take a look at it, possibly call a committee meeting on it, if at all possible, so that we can actually be ahead of this summer instead of waiting until the grass is already 4 feet high. We maybe could do something about it. In addition, the last page is the demolition language. So the last thing that we would have to do as a council basically is to redo the demolition language on the last page and add that to the ordinance as well, as I'm hoping Corporation Council can do. So if I would consider it, then thank you. That's it, Mr. Mayor.
I have one question. And I would just caution, and again, thank you, Alden, but you know, when I see this particular initiative in other communities, it resembles a chain gang. When you have blacks out there, I don't know if the inmates, but to me, our kids don't need to see that type of message being sent. It looks like a chain gang. I would like to see, if in fact, some diversity. Or if you come to Harvey, why don't you just, switch it and put all, a different, ethnic group out there as opposed to having all blacks, out there. I mean, it just, to me, it's counterproductive to the image that we're trying to set for children. And it also sends a message that it reverts back through history. I just hope, and again, I certainly want to commend our street department in terms of the demolition process. But again, I'm just one person. I just had a concern because I've been seeing them in various communities, but to see African American men out there with basically a white man sitting in a truck, and black men out there, slaves. I got a problem. I'm
gonna be honest with you.
My question was,
I got
you
a
know,
problem with that.
talking with someone in Dixonville, you know, they tore those buildings down on Wood. And I don't know if it's true, but they tore it down, but, Dixonville had to pay for the removing of it.
No. From my understanding, and once again, and that's why we have the committee meeting on it, hopefully we'll have a general services meeting on that regard. There is a trustee from Dixmoor here that can maybe answer that question a bit better. Understand the Cook County Sheriff's Office can then file a lien against the property owner for the work that they did. So at this particular point in time, all I'm requesting is that we investigate this, we look into this, and if we find that it's something viable, that we move forward on it because it's out there. Yes, a lot of communities around us, actually I probably think about all the communities around us, use this program. And I don't like the perception of chain gangs, even though chain gangs aren't operating the demo crew and stuff like that. However, we're taxpayers to Cook County, we pay them that money, and we don't get a service back from them, and this is a viable service that we can use. So we can discuss a little bit more, but you know, like I said, I just wanted to bring it to everybody's attention that there is a service out here that we can use for free of charge that will help us to get some of these demos done, some of the cleanup done, some of the brush cut down, and some of the grass cut down, because I think every alderman at least here, and the mayor's office, and the street department, all get those same complaints in the summer. So let's try to be proactive and try to get ahead of that before the summer gets here. That's it.
Yeah, but one thing about being proactive, we must work together as a council. That's the first form of being proactive. I've never had problems staying on top of the grass as long as the money was coming in. I've never had problems getting the bushes and things cut from around the abandoned homes as long as the money wasn't being held up. So I think, with the exception of the last 2 years, and even the last 2 years, I just had to turn up my amount of grass cutting. But I think we'll be fine, and we can take care of it. I think we may need to find some grants or something that might help us.
Must have looked over my shoulder.
No, I didn't, but I just know there's other ways to, I don't like the image of it as well. I also don't like how when communities allow Tom Dart and them in, how they ticket the residents and how they gather money and employ more and more people off of our people. So, I mean, I would love to have the homes demo, but I think we should funding. I think we should look for some funding.
The list comes from Harvey. Actually, Harvey is the one who generates the list.
Yeah.
So if Harvey is generating the list, how the tickets to other residents happens, I don't know. But Harvey.
No, I'm talking about when they come in and patrol communities is what I'm talking about.
Jurisdiction over certain matters.
Right.
What I understand.
But what I'm saying is, like you said, when they demo the house and then they put the liens on people, again, that's another form of them coming in, demoing, and then putting money on people backs who are barely paying their taxes. I mean,
or abandoned houses that are vacant and dilapidated.
You said that they come in, they tear it down, and they put a lien on the house, which means the sheriff company collects any money that it is given, not the city. I just think that it's other ways that we can find funding to help us demo.
Let's find those ways and find.
Yeah, I mean, we need to just work on it.
What I would like to see if the sheriff or the county really wants to help us with demo, just give us the demo dollars, and they can keep their particular chain gangs. Just give us the demo dollars, and we can make it happen. But what I would like to at the next city council meeting, as opposed to looking at something like this, I think we need to really start entertaining the conversation of gentrification. It's really starting to affect from a world perspective. If you look at what they did in Detroit, look what they did in Boston, look at what they're doing in Chicago. And so we really have to begin to really take a serious look at how we can hold on to our property, and also look at the displacement of individuals that's being displaced. I think it was 250,000 from Chicago, where they're going and coming to our community. So I think we need to really put some type of, have some dialogue, to the whole gentrification process. More importantly, if the county is serious about helping with demo, then they should give us the dollars and we can, help, you know, a minority company or help, you know, someone who needs a job. Let us, you know, work that out. That's just my thought. You know? Yes, sir.
We have both, you know, basically you guys said mostly everything that I was interested in. I'm not really for shooting any ideas down. I would like to discuss all the aspects and, you know, the benefits that could come from it. This is something that probably should go before the EDC committee, you know, just to further investigate a little bit more. But looking at the situation we was in last year, where we didn't even have the funds and we didn't vote on the funds, we didn't even give ourselves a chance to even do our job, you know. So now that we're, you know, getting things together, we need to see what we can handle first. And I would like to see this money put back to the city to hire more employees, more money for the street department, more help on people, you know, help rebuild our own city, you know, really. You know, I'm not really so much as for the chain gang thing or, you know, the mentality. You know, everybody has their own opinion, but I think we need to look at this a little bit more and just see what benefits we can get out of it. But all this starts from us not agreeing and us not voting together to put us in a situation where we have to look for somebody else for funds. You know, I'm proud of our city, and I think we can do this on our own. If we need the help, yeah. But right now, we need to see if we can just develop a year where we can all agree and vote on the things we need to vote on, get the money in for the city, and see what's happening, and see what we can do on our own, and see just how much of a difference we can make. You know, this is our city, and there's a lot of people that love this city enough that they're gonna get in. And when I be out there and I be cutting grass and helping doing stuff, people come out and help. You know, we got these young kids, can I help you out? And I'm like, oh man, you know, sometimes I have the money, sometimes I don't, but I had a few dollars just to get these boys off the street. Help them come in there and stuff and everything. They don't have to be doing demolition work and everything. You know, I know it's insurance purposes and deal with that. But I don't want nobody from the city to state to come in and think they own our property and get our tax dollars that we didn't already lost out on too. You know, so I just think it's something that we can be fair and being an alderman on a team player and to see your vision further and look at it and see what we can get out of it. You know, instead of just, you know. So we can send it before EDC and just go through it again and then see what benefits we can get.
I could be honest and open as well. If I entertain this, it would be after the election. He's not gonna come in our city and bulldoze and try to grab folks and all of that right now.
I'm not even looking at it from a political perspective.
No, I'm just saying, I said I'm gonna be honest. I didn't say how you was looking at it. I'm just saying, I don't want those trickery going on. Okay, let's go bulldoze some houses and get these folks in Harvey. When he has to get his house in order. That sheriff department ain't in great shape. So, you know, if this is something that could benefit us, I'll be with it. But I'm not really trying to see it to after March 20th or something like that. There you go.
But the other piece is,
call a meeting.
Look at this.
We can have a joint service meeting. We can at least investigate it and then put it on and then lay it on the table. But we can at least find out.
Oh, I'm definitely
exactly what's what.
I'm not saying I'm against the help.
I mean, it's free. It's free. We don't have to pay any money for this.
It says Harvey and sheriff agree that all monies collected by the sheriff pursuant to this agreement shall be for work completed by swap and/or renew and shall be deposited in the sheriff's general fund.
Yes.
You know,
if they're doing the work, they're not supposed to get the money.
No, I'm saying, why can't we have, you know, individuals who live in Harvey give us the money?
Because we've been doing a horrible job at it, Mr. Mayor.
No, we haven't been doing a horrible job. Last 2 years,
we have not, and you may, and okay. But the simple fact is, let's put it this way. We have not done the best that we can do. Okay? And we can do better. That's all I'm saying. But I don't even want all that. All I want you to do, take a read over it. That's all I ask.
Read over it. Myself and Mr. Seth, we over the street. If y'all supply with the funds and stuff, we can do the job. We have done this before.
Yes, sir.
When I know outside activities, nobody's coming in to help us do this. We can do this, we can do that. Just give us the money.
Where's the money coming from?
That's what I'm asking you. You the alderman.
Well, I'll tell you right now. we can cut out your job and we can save some money in the. If that's the case, look, we get $16 million levy, we got this $16 million levy every year.
I'm not getting no shot back at you.
Listen,
You got $16 million every year.
City for.
But I'm not gonna be able to employee guys.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Mayor,
Motion on the floor, Mr. Johnson, yes.
all I was gonna say is that,
Okay, fine.
I wanted to bring this to a close, but I wanted to say, just let this is not the venue for it. We should talk about it later and then make up your decision. But I'm talking about like this being a solved this way.
Okay, great.
So I make a motion to adjourn.
So, well, if it is, ain't no first time somebody done sued me.